So it should be working now. Hello. So I've had a lot of requests for helping people to manifest. Where do I start? What do I do? And I just wanted to go through a few things, like the basics that I wish that I'd known when I first started. So if you don't know very much about me, I'm Karina, a manifestation coach and transformational coach. And I help people to raise their vibration, release the trapped emotions and limiting beliefs that are standing in their way of manifesting their biggest dreams. And that's in health, wealth, relationships, and life purpose. So there are many different modalities that I do, and I kind of bring them all together to find what is right for the individual. And I like to teach people what a way for you to be able to do your own work, because it's so important. The spiritual journey is a lifelong journey, so you will continuously come up against challenges, and you need to find ways of being able to get over those challenges, overcome them. And the most important thing for me was to realize what I've realized now about releasing trapped emotions, regulating the nervous system, and all of this information that I kind of wish I'd known when I first had my spiritual awakening like 4 years ago. I feel like I would have been so much further ahead than I am now. So I'm sharing it. No more holding on to information. I'm sharing as much as I can to help you. So if you don't know very much about me, I was married for 17 years and I decided to get divorced because kind of realized we weren't right for each other. We never had been, to be perfectly honest. It just came to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. So when I was about to get divorced, in England, it's very, very common to buy a property. And we bought a property quite a long time ago. We were doing an extension on a house. And because of the amount of work that we were doing, my mum and dad didn't agree with my divorce. They decided to abandon us, and my dad was doing the build. So he left us with, well, I would say half a house and half a shell. So we were living in the house, but it wasn't sellable. The way that we'd got it, we would have lost money. So anyway, I went through this divorce, had to stay in the same house until we got it sorted. It took quite a long time. We lived in the same house for almost 2 years. And then when it got to COVID, I was like just saying to myself, I can't do this. How am I going to get through this? So I needed to find a way to make myself happy. And that was as simple as it was. I just needed to get by. And I came across a spiritual master called Master Sri Akashna. I started visualizing. I started reading Abraham Hicks books. And I was visualizing and manifesting the deposit on the house. And it only took 3 months. And we sold the house. We finished the house. We managed to get a builder to finish it. We finished it. It was on the market August 2020, and we sold in September 2020. We moved in December. So in that period of time, so it was about 3-4 months, I manifested a deposit, 15% deposit, buy a house. All sorts of things happened. I even had my car stolen. So I'd been considering selling the car. Do I sell the car? Do I put that towards? And I had my car stolen. But the universe works in such mysterious ways, because when the car was stolen, I actually got more money for it from the insurance than I would have had I just gone and sold it. So always trust that everything is happening for you. Anyway, went through this spiritual awakening, sold my house, found another house that I manifested. I've been visualizing that. And then I started a course. So I did my first law of attraction course, and I manifested a job in coaching in the banking industry that I was in then, as an executive coach. And these jobs hardly ever come up, but it happened within a week of me learning this process that I do. And it happened so quickly. I then got that job Within 2 days of getting that job, they said they were going to pay for me to do an external qualification in executive coaching. I was like, this is amazing. And I realize now what I was saying was, this is too good to be true. And lo and behold, 3 months later, I lost the job. So they made everyone redundant. They basically got rid of everyone. I had to go back to my old job. And this kept kind of happening. So I would get something. I manifested a partner in 5 days, put a picture of him on my vision board. And that lasted 5 months. And then realized this isn't actually the person that I thought, and this isn't really what I wanted. So that's when I started to learn more about the subconscious mind, and that manifesting isn't just about visualize what you want. Now I have a much deeper understanding and I'm able to teach it. So I'm going to help as much as I can to do it the right way. Don't do things and fail. Don't do things and then go back again. And I'll explain why. So we have a higher mind and a human mind. The higher mind is what you might call the superconscious, or the soul, the spirit, the part of us that has come from source energy, that is connected to source energy. And we're all connected. We're all from source energy. So we're all connected. We're all telepathically talking to each other. And we can all communicate. We just need to learn how to. And we all have that ability. And then the human part of us is the human mind, the human body, the ego, however you want to call it. Now, we all have different roles. So even within the human mind, there's 2 parts. There's the conscious and there's the subconscious, or the unconscious. The conscious mind, by the time you're 35, is around 3 to 5% of your mind. The subconscious is around 95 to 97%. And that is what controls your behaviors. That controls what you do from your belief system. Now, when we're born, the human mind, the human side of us, starts from as soon as we're conceived, and all of our DNA is basically memory. So your DNA and your mind and everything in this body, the subconscious, the conscious, is all made up of memory from your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and 10, 20, 30 generations back. And these emotions are stored. This memory is stored. And this is forming your subconscious, your mind. So I like to think of it as if we have some kind of robotic mind. We're a robot. Imagine that. So your conscious mind, we all have 3 parts to us, and it's like we have this civil war because each part to us has a different goal. So the higher mind, the soul, the spirit, that part of us, it just wants to experience everything. It just wants to be I just want to experience life, everything, and enjoy it all. And I'll experience anger, I'll experience challenges, and that's what it's here for. And everything's wonderful and everything's limitless and infinite. And then the human side of us, the conscious mind, says, yeah, I want to go for something. I want to set a goal. I want to create. I want to do something. But when you go to move forward and you're only using the conscious mind, it's a tiny part because you're only using 3 to 5%. So when you start to use the subconscious or the unconscious, that's 95 to 97%. So it's a big part of the human mind. The issue is we have this inner conflict because the role of the subconscious mind, of this robot that has been programmed, is to keep us safe. So imagine our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents typing in to program this computer that is your mind. And it's all their beliefs and their memories and their emotions. And actually, when we come to this life, we probably just repeat all of that because that's what we're used to. So many of our childhood memories create more of these beliefs that are from generations ago. And that's why we're behaving the way that we are, that isn't necessarily moving us towards our conscious goal, because there's so much of us that is just not really us. It's not aligned with our higher self. It's not aligned with our conscious goals. It's everybody else's. It's everybody else's programming. It's even your teacher's programming and the people that you looked up to when you were a child. So bearing that in mind and thinking of this mind, this programming, try to think of everyone in this world as being programmed, and really they're just an innocent 5-year-old inside of them, or an innocent baby inside of them, and their behavior, unless they're aware of this, unless they're physically taking action to change this, it's not really them that's acting that way. And so when you think of things in this way, you're able to give out more love and more compassion when people don't really behave the way that you would want them to behave. So this is why people say, don't project onto other people, look inside. And what they mean by that is, look to see what your programming is that is creating this reality. Because everything in this robot mind is saying, this is what I have. These are the beliefs that I have that creates my reality. So this is what I'm going to experience. And then when we can start to look at those experiences, when we can start to look and analyze, what are these beliefs that I'm holding on to? Where did they come from? And realize they're not really true. They're not really ours. We can release them. We can release the emotion. And then we can start to align the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. Now, understand there was a lot of information there, and if you didn't know any of that, that probably was quite a lot of information. So let me know in the chat if anyone has any questions about it, if it's not making any sense, or maybe just go back, revise, revisit, go back and re-watch it and see if it goes in. Sometimes you have to listen or hear something 5, 6, 7 times before you actually really fully understand it, and that's just the way that the brain works. So the subconscious, the way to explain it, the way to understand it really is that, say for instance, you're driving down the road and you're driving and you think 10 minutes into the journey, how did I get here? I literally do not remember getting to this point. I have no conscious memory. I wasn't paying attention. And that's because your subconscious has a photographic memory. It remembers everything. It knows everything. It has an ability to just remember. And so when your subconscious knows how to drive the car and what to do and how to keep safe, it can do 5,000 things all at once without you even realizing. And you got there safely. That's why. Let me know in the chat if this is making sense. So if you're doing something, if you've got a goal and you're not taking the action towards that goal, first of all, just forgive yourself. Accept that it's not your fault. It's not something that you were aware of. It's your subconscious mind telling you that there's a danger, because this subconscious is like a protector. It's there to protect you. And it is helpful. Unfortunately, the problem is that the protector part of us, the subconscious part of us, doesn't know the difference between falling over and grazing your knee as a danger and being chased by a tiger as a danger. A danger is just a danger. It goes by the feeling in your body. Now, I heard a really good expression about, if you squeeze an orange, you will only ever get orange juice out of it. If you squeeze an apple, you'll only ever get apple juice out of it. You won't get orange juice out of an apple. So that's the same with us. When we're squeezed, people will trigger us, irritate us, do something to us. And what comes out is what's inside. So that means if you're full of anger that's deep down, And it is deep down. We trap emotions. We trap hundreds, thousands even of emotions, because when we're young, we're not taught as children to process them and release them. We're taught to shut up, be quiet, stop crying, don't do that. And so we go inside and don't feel safe to release them. And so they get stored in our bodies, and it affects the nervous system. It affects everything. It causes energy blockages. That's what causes illness. So inside of us, if you are absolutely full of anger, we have these triggers. People will call them triggers. Now, that means that there's an emotional wound inside of you, and it will lay dormant in your unconscious. So it could be something from when you were a baby, when you were 3. It could be something from 10 generations ago. It could be something from grandparents in trenches, or feeding, like having rations through the war. But these emotions, these memories, stay dormant until we're triggered. And it's as if, like, if you've got a cut on your hand, someone does something that reminds you of that you have that memory in your DNA. And it's like pouring salt on the wound, and you suddenly just react and go, and you explode and you go mad, and what comes out is what's within. So if you suddenly have an explosion of anger or fear or anxiety or resentment, it's whatever you trapped at the time of that memory. Now, good news is we can change it. We can release it. And that's what I'm here to help with today. So when we have these emotions and release them, when you release the emotion, you're also releasing the subconscious belief, because the emotion is like glue, sticking the belief into your brain, sticking that belief into your body. And when you release the emotion, you can release the belief. So if you have a belief, for instance, no one loves me, no one cares about me, that was created from just the fact that your mum went out to work, because the brain isn't formed until age 7. We do create absolute utter rubbish that's not true. We make ourselves feel like, I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, I'm not this, I'm not that, when actually it's nothing to do with us. But we all do it, and we're all human, and it's okay. It's nobody's fault. But when we do have these emotional triggers, we know we've healed it when, if you think about putting salt on a healed wound, it actually wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't cause any reaction. So you know you've healed a memory or a belief or an issue by going through a very similar experience and having no emotional response to it. Just being able to observe from neutrality, from a place of neutrality where you just go, oh, okay, I get that now. I get it. But you can just observe, watch, and nothing happens. Then you know that you've healed that memory. So we'll give you a couple of examples of, creating beliefs. You could have a parent, and this is what's happened with clients, a parent go out to work, leaving that person with their dad. At that point, they'll say, I never want to do that to my children, so I'll always make sure that I put family before money. So you create this vow in your head where you're saying, my mom went out to work and she chose money over me, over love. I'll never do that. And something like that can stop money from coming into your life, because you're energetically blocking it. You're energetically saying, no, I don't want money. When actually, when we go back and we can heal that belief and we can heal that picture and see it from an adult's point of view and release the 3-year-old's point of view, that person then starts to get money coming in, because you no longer have that block. Now, when it comes to money specifically, there are a lot. There could be lots of times, and we hear it constantly. We've got lots of beliefs like, put some in the chat, money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to make. You have to work hard for your money. What else is there? There'll be loads. Money is evil. People with power or people with money are evil. Whatever it is, there's so many. We've created these at loads of different times, and your subconscious remembers everything, so it will pick things up even from watching the news that you don't even realize. If I don't watch the news, you'll find a lot of spiritual people don't watch the news anymore, don't want to see violence, don't want to watch violent films, don't want to see anything like that, because we know it's stored in there. So don't worry, because it can be fixed. If you've got a pen and paper, we'll go through an exercise now, just to start off with manifesting. Even if you're in the process of already manifesting something, it is a really good exercise, because fact is, if you haven't got it, there's something blocking you. That is resistance. That is a fact. Otherwise, you'd have it. So if you need to go, pause the video, grab a pen and paper. Let's get started with the exercise. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, if you need to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality. So by doing some exercises, we will physically be changing our personality. We'll be thinking about, what's the identity that I want to have? And also, what are the emotions that I have now? What are the beliefs I have now? And what do I need to release in order to get to this peaceful, loving person that is a different identity? So right now, write down, what is it that you want to manifest? And so many people will say, I'm manifesting this, but actually you have no idea how you're going to get there, or where you are now, or even thought about when you want to have it. Let's get clear. First thing is, get clear on what you want and why do you want it. So many people will say money, but it's not really the money, it's the feeling. Or money by itself is a bit useless. It's something that it will buy you. So what is it that you want to buy? What is the life? What is the experience that you want to have? So write that down. I would love to be an onstage speaker with thousands of people watching me, cheering me on, celebrating me, with my partner at the side, my children celebrating me, my parents watching, everybody supporting me. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be able to travel the world 10 times a year if I want to. Time freedom. I do have time freedom. I like that. I already have that. Just write down exactly what it is that you want to have. And then, what is it in your identity that would need to change? So I would need to identify as an entrepreneur, someone who's rich, someone loving, someone kind. What does that person look like? How do they stand? What do they wear? Really get into the energy of that person. And then once you've done that, where are you now? This is such an important exercise that it's like you want to lose weight, but you don't step on the scales to see where you are now. How are you going to know that you've lost weight if you don't know where you are now? and you don't face it? How are you going to know what changes you need to make if you don't recognize or acknowledge where you are now? And when you do this, this is where you are now, this is where you're going. In here, inside here, in the middle, is a lot of resistance to that. Because your subconscious mind is saying, hang on a minute, we're not sure about this. There's some danger in there somewhere. So you're always going to take the path of least resistance. Your mind is going to say, well, I want that, but actually I'm not going to get it because there's a part of me that's saying it's easier for me to just go and watch Netflix, or it's easier for me to scroll on social media, it's easier for me to put the washing on, or go and travel, or meditate all day, or go and buy another course. How many people have done that? Oh, I need to be perfect. I'll go and buy another course and that will fix me. That will make me better. You don't need another course. You just need to find out what this resistance is. And it's purely a diversion tactic. And your mind will take you on a million diversion tactics to take you away from something that it knows will get you where you want to get to, like paying for a coach. How many of you have bought courses and not done anything with them, or bought them and then said, oh, I've got halfway through and I haven't finished it? That's self-sabotage. How many people have opportunities and they ask for something comes to them and they don't take action on it? That's your subconscious saying, oh, I don't know, something bad might happen. Every single thing that comes to you is an opportunity. Every single thing is orchestrated. Nothing is coincidence. So every person, every opportunity, every email you get, it's all an opportunity. So inside here, where you are now, where you want to be. The reason we need to do this is to make you face where you are now, where you want to be, for all of the emotions, all of the fears, all of the triggers, whatever it is, to rise up. We have to face it. We have to let it come up to be able to be released. Otherwise, it stays unconscious. It stays dormant until something happens where you get this emotional trigger and just go, ugh! And then you're not in the right space to be able to do anything with it. So allow it to come up now. See where you are now. Write down, what is it? What is my biggest fear? If you do this exercise every day for the next 28 days, or even 2 months, 3 months, your life will significantly change for the better, and you will massively release this resistance. If you keep doing it, don't self-sabotage, and you keep doing it, your life will change, because as you release resistance, you have to get closer to what you want. So what is the biggest fear? Now, you might even be saying, your conscious mind will say, well, I don't have any fears about getting what I want. I want it and that's it. Why would I have a fear about having a new car? Well, you could have a fear about having a new car because you think if you have a new car, someone's going to judge you, or you think someone's going to take it from you, steal it, or you think, oh, I don't want a car like that in my neighborhood. My family doesn't have a car like that. Start to ask the questions. Can't be a millionaire or be rejected. This is what is going on in the subconscious mind, or the unconscious. Remember, it's not what you consciously want, but that's what we need to bring out. So what's my biggest fear? Or the other way of asking it is, what do I think could happen if I get what I want? Now, if you do this daily, guarantee you different things will come out. There are so many things that have come out that I had no idea that they were there. But I know people that were millionaires who have done some of this work and not continued with it, and then they've had millions and it has been taken away. So trust me, when you do the work and you do it up front and you continue with it, you either lose the money and don't care because you can think, well, it's fine, it's not important, I don't have the emotions there anymore, I'll make more money. Or you get to keep it and you get to do what you choose with it because you don't have that fear anymore and no emotions. So what is it that you want? Where are you now? What are the fears? Fear of judgment. What will your friends say? What will your family say? What are the emotions? Now, another way of doing this is to now just close your eyes for a second and imagine that you're standing in a circle of everybody else around you. You're in the middle. All your friends, your close family, your close friends, maybe even teachers, people you looked up to, people from school, whoever, social media followers, you are there, parents, grandparents, anyone, everyone, and you tell them, I did it. I did it. I'm a millionaire. I wrote my book. I'm a New York bestseller. New York Times bestseller. And then just see what comes up. What do people say? Who is judging you? Who is saying, oh, it won't last? Or too good to be true? Or even, I don't believe them. Who is it that's saying things? That gives you a really good indication of your fear of judgment or the feelings that other people have. So if, for instance, your biological parents are saying things about you, then that's in your DNA, that whatever they're saying, that's their beliefs. That's in your DNA, that's part of you. Grandparents. We do create beliefs from our environment too. So even if you had caregivers who weren't biological, there will still be some element of, actually, I've taken that on, I've absorbed it. Okay, so now we have where you are now, this new person's identity. Just write down, how is this new person's identity in conflict with your current identity? And just journal this, because when you journal, it will come out a lot quicker. Things will come out that you don't realize are there. When you're speaking over 5 seconds, when you're thinking over 5 seconds, that's the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is going to try to tell you that everything's fine, don't worry, there's nothing there. When things just suddenly pop into your head out of nowhere, or you're journaling, it's coming from the subconscious, and that's what we want to get out. So what is it? Or even finish this sentence. People in our family don't People in our family can't. People in our family won't. What automatically comes to your mind? People in our family can't be millionaires. People in our family have to work hard for the money. What is it that just automatically comes out? Now, bear in mind, your subconscious can only accept a certain amount. So if you do this tomorrow, the next day, different things could come up. Even if you don't have anything right now, don't worry. There will be something. And I'm going to do some EFT tapping. We're going to release some of these emotions. And then I'm going to use energy healing. I'm going to send it distance. It will go to whoever watches this back at any point. It will go through distance and time to heal whatever needs to be healed on this call at this moment, whenever you're watching this. And then you can watch it again and continue doing it again. You might have heard the term conscious creator. And the term conscious creator is all about creating what you want consciously, but being able to move there, having everything in your awareness. So focusing your attention on the conscious goal and your awareness on what is not in alignment with that, and becoming conscious of all of it. So bringing the subconscious to the conscious. So then when we do that, we're aligning the conscious mind at 3 or 5% of your brain, as well as the big 95 to 97. And then that will all align with your higher self, because your higher self wants the best for you. It wants to experience. So when you start releasing all these things, you'll start to get bigger goals and bigger dreams, because you'll start to realize, actually, my higher self, my superconscious, the soul, is way more infinite. It's infinite. It has way more ideas than I can even imagine right now. But there is a law of polarity, which means that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. There's two poles on a magnet. There's two sides to a magnet. There's negative and positive, good and bad. But that also means when you have an idea, so I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to post this on social media, I'm going to set up this business. You can only have that idea if there is someone else, which is the polarity, who wants to receive it. So you can only have an idea if there is someone else who wants to receive it. So every time you post on social media, or you say, oh, I'm a bit scared, I don't know if I'm going to do this because I might get judged or it might not get many likes. Instead, say, I get 1 like. That was my purpose today. That one person needed to hear what I had to say. That's what the higher self wants. It's the ego that wants the recognition and the million likes. If you write a book, there has to be someone who wants to read it. Otherwise, you would not have had the idea. It's not possible to have an idea, to think of something that there isn't an opposite polar reaction for to. Okay, so now we should have all these fears, all these thoughts. What might happen if I... Now, when I first broke up with my partner and I was working on this, I was going, well, why would I not want a partner? Why would I not want to be with somebody else? And I didn't realise that as soon as I started to say these things, it would be like, oh, my children won't like me. And I can remember them being upset when I split up with him. So then I had all this guilt that I needed to release, and the fear was I was going to upset my children. So there is always some form of deep down fear when it came to money. Can't be rich because I made a vow to my dad that I'll always work hard for it, and there's a limit to how much you can have if you always have to work hard for it. You've got a limited amount of time. You have to work hard for it, then there's a limit to how much you can have. If you believe that money is infinite and I don't have to work hard for it and it can just flow to me, then there's no limit and it can be easy. Set up automation. Someone else has everything done for you. You employ other people to do things for you. But we all have so many deep ingrained vows. We don't have to release them all in one go. All you need to do is release the resistance that is stopping you from taking the action to move towards it. And as you do this bit by bit, you will start to get towards it. And at some point, you'll get there. You don't need to rush anything. Enjoy the experience. There is no rush. Time is infinite. If there's something that you don't do in this life, you can do it in the next. Easier said than done, I know, because we all think, I haven't got enough time. That's a belief. Okay, let's go. So I do EFT tapping, which is we tap on the meridians that are related to the major organs, and the major organs is very often where we will store these trapped emotions. So as we're tapping through the points, we're saying certain phrases that will trigger the emotions, that will trigger a memory. You don't necessarily have to know what the memory is, but you may get a memory in your head. You may get one pop up. Please make sure you drink lots of water as well. When you're doing this kind of work, the more hydrated you are, the easier the answers will come from your subconscious. And when you're healing, you're detoxing. This is energetic healing, mental healing, but it's releasing energy from your body as well. So drink plenty of water. So back to the tapping. So we tap on the points. First is a karate chop point, side of the hand. These points relate to the major organs. Then it's the side of the eyebrows. Don't tap on the top of the head, it doesn't do anything. Side of the eyebrows is the meridian point. Side of the eyes, under the nose, under the chin. And then it's the collarbone. Now, this is a really good one. You can either go on the end of the collarbone, or you can run your fingers along it. Any kind of tapping around this area, though, that's really good for awakening any emotions stuck in the heart area, in the heart chakra. And then we go under the arm, and then on top of the head. So on the top of the head is if you were like a puppet and you had a string in the middle of your head. On the top of there, you also have a meridian in the middle of your finger, in the middle finger. So we try to use that one with maybe 2 or 3. So we just tap first of all, just look at the things that you've written down, look at the beliefs, the emotions, whatever it is, what's in the way of being where you are, getting from where you are to where you want to be. Can't do it. Don't know how I'm going to do it. Haven't got time. All these thoughts, all these beliefs, all these emotions, all this fear of judgment, fear that I'll be disowned, fear of rejection. Just breathe it out. Just keep tapping. Just acknowledging all of these feelings, allowing it all to come up. To be released. All these fears. All these emotions. So you can say the words along with me if you want to. It's more effective if you do. All these thoughts, all these feelings, all these beliefs, all this stress, Releasing and letting it go. Thanking the protector part of me that came up with this fear, that held on to all of these emotions because it thought some way it would help me. Releasing and letting it go. Thanking that part of me. And releasing and letting it go. Breathing out, releasing and letting it go. Letting it go at all of the roots and the deepest cause. It's feeling that I'm not good enough. It's fear of judgment. I've been criticized all my life. I can't take any more. This need to be perfect. Releasing and letting it go. All this frustration. Working so hard and I'm not getting where I want to get to. It's feeling that I need to work harder. But what's the point? I give up. I had enough. I just tap through the points and read through everything that you've written down, or even say out loud what comes up. So as you tap, different thoughts may come up. Different memories may arise. If it's something traumatic, then just keep tapping, the same, releasing and letting it go. Crying, yawning, burping, shivering, the energetic releases, it's good. Just releasing and letting it go. I recognize the part of me wanted to keep me safe. I'm ready to release it now and let it all go. I'm not that person anymore. Releasing all vows. These thoughts that I won't be part of the family if I manifest my biggest dreams. It's just not true. I'm inherently part of the family. These thoughts that I won't be good enough. It's just not true. Perfect as I am. I can't be any more perfect. If I say I'm not perfect, I'm arguing with the universe. Who am I to say the universe got it wrong? I'm perfect as I am. I'm accepted as I am. I'm loved as I am. I'm loved. I'm fully and wholly loved, honored, and accepted by myself and everybody else. I deserve to manifest my dreams. I absolutely deserve to manifest my biggest dreams. Releasing and letting it go. I deserve this. I deserve this. Okay. Now that's an exercise that you can continue to do. So if you ask yourself, where were you before? On a scale of 1 to 10, what was the resistance? And where are you now? It should have come down. It should have reduced and released some resistance. But I'm going to do something now that I don't very often do in a public forum, especially for free, but I am going to share it. So what I'd like you to do, if you accept this Reiki healing, I'm going to call in my energetic guides, your higher self, the higher superconscious, the universe, And I'm going to ask that any remaining resistance for today is safely removed. All you need to do, you accept this healing, is say, I accept and I give permission. Higher self, do you give me permission to connect to your energy? Anyone, everyone who is on this call who gives permission. You don't need to do anything. Just sit back, close your eyes for a few minutes. Higher self, it's in this healing, it's at the intention that anyone who is watching this video at any time has in this your time and space to be received at the perfect time. Higher self, do you agree to increase satisfaction in whatever form the recipient decides that is best for the higher self? Yes. More money, more joy, more happiness, more love, more peace, more freedom. Higher self, universe, seeking me permission, reiki guides, angels, ascended masters, spirit guides. Give me permission to release what is remaining resistance in the way of the recipient manifesting their biggest desires. Do you see their choice from a place of the heart? Yes. Do you understand the metaphor? Do you see the garden with all the flowers and all the beautiful things that they want to create and all the weeds around? Yes. Can you pull out the weeds? You pull out the roots to the dying tree, allow the tree to die. There is no part of you that will die. It will just rebirth with new, with fresh and revitalized energy. Have your permission. You understand. Please treat this resistance. Releasing and letting go. The safest way possible is best, the highest good. Event created these fears, worries, and feelings of being undeserving, unloved, not good enough. All the DNA and ancestors, all the past, raising all memories that do not align with this person's highest self and biggest desires. Releasing the ball and chain. Releasing the handcuffs. Allowing them to move forward. Releasing all resistance. Universe, angels, spirit guides, please do this in the highest, best possible way. The highest satisfaction, joy, and happiness for all. Please raise the vibrational frequency. Everyone on this call, past, present, future. Raise the vibrational frequency of the future. The future worries released. Thank you to the protectors. Thank you to the parts of these people that is trying to keep them safe and protect them. Change your black squares to red diamonds. Blue triangles, yellow circles. Balance all chakras. Release all negativity. Allow all creativity in its best, highest form to be expressed with joy and happiness from the heart. Allow them to speak the truth, to see the truth, understand the truth, to hear the truth, to live with authenticity, like a volcano spewing out all the negativity. Make that happen now. Release all this negativity. Fill this person with love, with peace, with freedom, with joy. Now this person release all vows, self-vows, family vows that don't serve them. Into all the past memories. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. Past, present, future. Separate the picture, the event from the emotion. Release the emotion. Created this resistance. Let it go. Going back, childhood, to a baby, into the womb. Filling this fetus, this embryo, the point of conception, with positive beliefs, like a new computer. Full of love, full of positivity. I do deserve it. I am loving. I can do this. I am important. I matter. I am worthy and deserving of all the abundance in the world. I'm worthy and deserving of being happy. I'm worthy and deserving of unconditional love. And I always receive it. I am safe. I am creative. I am happy. I am joyful. I am loving. I am loved. I am honest. I am trusted. I am trustworthy. And I trust others. I see the truth. I hear the truth. I feel the truth. I am all-knowing. All these people. Yourself as a baby. Being loved, being nourished, being safe, secure. Yourself as a toddler, being creative, being expressive, dancing, being joyful, painting, writing, doing everything perfectly. You are accepted exactly as you are. You were nourished, you were nurtured, you were loved. You were given all of the love and affection that you deserve and you desire. You are inherently deserving of an infinite amount of love and abundance. Say, I accept. Breathe all of this in. Your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's done, it is done, it is done. You're this container. Ground yourself. Imagine roots growing out of your feet to the soles of through the soles of your feet, to the core of the earth, through the earth all the way. A big ball of energy. Imagine those roots tying to the core of the earth. Just open your eyes when you are ready. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Candle out. Don't blow candles out. Just snuff it out. Use water. How was that for everybody? Hopefully you had some transformations, had some aha moments. Feel free to put any questions that you have in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. Repeat, repeat, repeat as many times as you can.